You did it! Let's go. Hey guys, so we're back here at the Black Sox facility in Burkburnett, Texas. And if you were here last week, you know I'm trying to hit a home run. And I have Trey Bickford with Big East Training that is training me to actually try and do that. And so last week he was able to increase my exit velo by 3 miles per hour in about 10 minutes of work. So what's the plan for today to try and increase it?
Today we're going to piggyback off the work that we've already put in and try to make sure that everything is in tune there, and then we'll add in some hip and shoulder separation to get you a little more rotational force.
Sweet. Okay. Well, I've already done my stretches, so we're going to get right into this training and see what I can do. So we're going to use the weighted bat trainer real quick just to get me loosened up. Of course, you can do it here, here, and here. We'll do all three, and each area has its specific benefits, and we talk about that on the first video if you want to go take a look at that, but here we go. Oh.
Okay, so before we get going today, I wanted to show you an example of some separation. This is a still shot of Harper when he was in junior college, I believe. And what we're going to be looking at here, we're going to be talking about the hips that are starting to drive forward and rotating forward, and we're wanting to keep the shoulders and the chest back. Now what that's going to do is allow a stretch across your body is now what you're going to rotate against. So when we go into the swing, adding hip shoulder separation is needed for some hitters and not needed for some hitters, depending on where they're at with their swing and the kind of speed that they're creating. But with us, our goal is right now only speed. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about trying to get your hips to take off first and leave the chest behind, where now we're going to get those hips to take off, create that tension between your body, or between your hips and shoulders, to where now you have tension to turn against. So I think Harper, this is a good example here. You can see that belt right here, the front of the belt starting to get forward towards the pitcher, and his shoulders and hands and everything's back. So as his lower half starts to rotate, it starts from here, then the knee's going to come, then the hips are going to follow, all while this is still delayed and it's still back. Then the chest will come, and then the arms and everything will fall through the swing, and we'll get that rotation. Now, the first thing I want you to do here is go to your, we say there's 3 phases to the swing: the load, the land, and then the swing. So load would be your move back towards the catcher, land is when that front foot comes down, and then the swing is from there.
Okay.
So I want you to go through your load and land, and then I want you to pause for me.
Okay.
And then now think, from this move, we want the hips to start rotating, and now you feel you're getting that stretch. Now here, I'm going to take your shoulders, I'm going to bring them back just so you can feel where that stretch is at.
Yep.
Okay. And so we can create that separation there,
mm-hmm.
and then still stick with what we're talking about, rotate that back knee down at the angle of the front foot as much as you can, and then that'll get that bat to lay down where we can go through the ball. I know it's a complicated feel, but just whenever you're going to swing, try to think the way I always tell everybody is the tractor pulls the trailer. So tractor pulls the trailer. Okay. Let those hips and the lower body be what initiates that swing movement, and then let the upper body follow along for the ride.
Okay.
I see you working.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel really spinny
as
we insert this until you get to,
oh man.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah. So what happens is when you start to rotate, you're wanting to rotate up out of the ground.
Yeah.
I need you to take that separation and drive it down through the ground.
Okay.
There it is.
That felt good.
I like it. We're getting there. There's where you do it coming up out of the ground again.
Yeah.
Find it down. Okay, I like that one better. When we talk about your hips, we want to see this right hip being lower through the swing.
Okay.
As opposed to you spinning up out of the ground and it's higher.
Yeah.
So you see that, where I just always use this example of taking 2 balls because I think it makes it easier to understand. But we want to take this back leg and drive everything down and forward, and that's going to let you establish that force into the ground.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so in your video, I think you do a good job getting to a loaded position here. And now as you're striding, you're working down and forward. Now you're gonna see those hips start to take off, the shoulders are staying back, which is great. from this point forward is what we're talking about when we're saying you're coming up out of the ground as you deliver the barrel, and you'll see it right there.
Yep.
And that's where you've left the ground out of your backside. So now it's like you're trying to maintain that position, but we can't just pause. We always have to be going somewhere. So we've got to continue to work down with that turn and keep driving that backside through the ground, as opposed to that little move right there. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that little move where you're coming up through the ball
there.
is going to take out a lot of power. Now, here's the thing I love about Corey Seager. When we watch Corey Seager, you're going to see him also get the separation that we're talking about, but I want you to watch his belt through contact. You see how he's continuing to work down through the ground the whole way? That's what we're looking to achieve as far as maintaining that pressure through the ground. Now, I always tell everybody you can tell a lot about what a hitter's doing in their swing based on which foot is moving after the swing. Now, if you watch Corey, okay, so he does have a longer stride and he does get a lot of separation, but the big thing I wanted you to see was him working, his body's still continuing to work down through the ground after contact. Now watch his back foot's gonna be the foot that moves after the swing. Yep, there it is. Okay, and then so we'll go back to your video now. You say you're wanting to catch yourself with your left foot?
Yeah.
That tells me that all your weight's on the left foot. And which I know it seems like a little bitty thing, but you're not going to catch yourself with the foot that you don't have the most weight on.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's where your center of gravity is at. So what that tells us with that front foot moving is that your rotation that's taking you up and out of the ground is taking you up onto your front foot. When we take the swing, we want to rotate, I think, against the front heel and then complete that rotation where everything stays on the backside. We're driving down through that front leg. Okay. And that's what will allow that back leg to move first. So long story short, to wrap it all up, the separation is better. Your initial movement down is better. Now we've got to continue to ride that down all the way through. That way we can keep that force moving through the ball as opposed to you pulling up and out of the swing. Okay. And then you'll see that back foot be the foot that you catch with. Okay, so what we're going to be working on here is we've talked about going through your load and land and then getting this separation to begin with the lower body. And now when we initiate that separation, we let the lower body start going towards the ball. We want to make sure that we're doing it driving this down and forward and not spinning it up and out. And so if we get that thing going down and forward, then our center of mass is going to stay back here and we're able to stuff all this in and drive against this front leg. And then through the finish of the swing, we'll see you catch yourself with your back foot because that's where you're driving from. If you get the same moves, but then you start to pull out of the ground up and out, you're going to be weight on your front foot, catching yourself with your front foot. Yes.
Like that.
And continue to rotate all the way around.
Nope.
Yes, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. So when we talk about acceleration and deceleration, our range of motion becomes really important because at a certain point, your brain is going to force you to start slowing down. For example, you can't go 100% to 0 over and over and over and over and over, otherwise you get hurt.
Yeah.
So your brain is going to force you to begin slowing down. So if we can continue that rotation all the way through and then have our catch foot be the backside, now we get to our decel point where you're going to begin slowing down. Your actual swing is going to happen more in your finish versus if we're stopping here and I'm going to have to start slowing down somewhere through my contact zone.
Yeah, okay.
So long story short, the bigger range of motion allows you to accelerate longer.
Gotcha, okay.
Ooh, we're getting there. Ooh, that was a nice one. Okay, so now we're going to test Leland's exit velo after we've made the changes that we've made. We installed some stuff, talked about his hip-shoulder separation, continuing to drive his weight down and forward through the swing to allow him to stay on that baseball. So the ultimate test now, we're going to see if those changes made any improvements or not.
Awesome, let's do it. My PR is 82, so that's what I'm going for. See if I can beat it.
80.
80.
80. 80.
I'm consistent 80. 82.
82.
All right, here we go.
81.
81. Consistently though in the 80s. That's an improvement.
81.
81.
You did it! Let's go. What's up? Let's show the camera.
84. Oh, yes. Holy cow.
All right, guys, so that wraps up the video. We were able to get Leland's X-Velo up another 2 miles an hour, which we were really pumped about. He's been working his butt off, so it's been fun to watch and be a part of it. You know, we're really excited about what we're doing, and we're really chasing this goal of getting him to 90 miles an hour, so hopefully we can go out on the field and get him the ultimate goal of hitting a home run. So this beginning phase where we're getting his X-Velo and getting him in a position to where we can start working on striking a ball that's actually moving, not just on a tee, so that we can get closer to that hitting a home run on the field.
Yeah, man, it's super fun. I mean, I started last week when we started, I was at 77 miles per hour on average, and now hit 84 literally in a week and 2 practices. So what you're doing works, so thank you so much. And we're excited to announce too that we're going to start doing, every week we're going to have a giveaway. It's going to be something different each week, and you can be a part of it. This week we're going to give away a custom Xylo bat. And so the way to enter that is like this video, share this video on your story, repost the video, and then you need to follow both of us. And as soon as you do that, you're entered into the giveaway, and we will announce the winner in about a week. So make sure you enter. Hope you're enjoying these videos, and we'll see you next week.